Half Size Me, episode 706. Brought to you by the amazing Half Size Me Academy. To become a member, go to halfsizeme.com/join. Hello, beautiful listeners. Today, you are going to get to hear from Lily. Now, I have really gotten to know Lily quite a bit because Lily was in the academy before we launched the From Sabotage to Success 6-week intensive. And she had come on for questions. She had submitted questions. She had come on for coaching in the academy. She was very much taking action right away. And I so appreciated that about her. But one of the things I kept noticing for her in our coaching sessions and when she would ask questions is her mind was super busy and it was constantly shooting all over her. And it really was just creating a lot of pain and misery for her. So in this, you're going to get to hear Lily really share openly, very openly, how her mind was before the 6-week intensive and then how it is now. And it doesn't, and I just want to be clear, this 6-week intensive doesn't stop the mind from talking. It just gives you a different set of tools and perspective on how to listen and how to respond and how to not think everything you're hearing in your head is legit and factual and well thought out and like it's actually a voice to be listened to. And the more that you hear from others like Lily, and last week it was Charlene, and before that was Christy, you start to hear some commonalities. They really didn't know that the voice that was in their head was the same as it kind of is for everybody. And that's what's great about being in one of these small group environments. You can hear all the stuff. You can listen to my Thinking Leads to Eating series. You can be in the academy and do the Manage Your Mind to Lose Weight course. But your mind will always discredit and say, yeah, you're different. Yes, but it's different for you. But when you start to hear real human beings saying words that you have yourself thought, and you're like, oh, she just said what I've been thinking for a while, or this thought repeats for me all the time. All of a sudden you start to, that wall starts to go down, like in the Wizard of Oz, right? The curtains open. You realize, oh, that little man behind the curtain, he's in everyone's head. And he's saying the same thing. And this is why I love this intensive. And I'm so excited that this was so well received because I see this as being really the root cause of all misery and suffering in every area, whether it's your career, whether it's parenthood, whether it's your personal relationships, whether it's your eating issues. This really at the end of the day is where it all starts. And if we can get this under control, you will have a much happier, more productive life. You enjoy this call with Lily, and I will be back with another episode of From Sabotage to Success. And if this sounds like something you very much are interested in, go to halfsizeme.com/success, SUCCESS. And there you will see one of two options. You're either going to sign up for this go of it, or if it's already full, which it very well might be, you would go ahead and put your name and email address. And then the next time I run it, you will be getting first notifications of the seats that are available. All right. Without any further ado, let's listen to Lily's interview. You have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, wonderful listeners. Today we are super fortunate to have Miss Lily on the line with us. And Lily went through the 6-week intensive From Sabotage to Success. And she was willing to come on and kind of share what she learned in the 6 weeks with everybody. So Lily, why don't you say hi and then maybe take us back before the 6-week intensive and let us know kind of what prompted you to want to join and like what was going on for you that you thought, hey, this sounds like something that might be helpful for me.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Lily, and I'm honored to be with you, Heather. It's just, I appreciate your time and your invitation to be here today. What prompted me, and believe it or not, I was listening to the podcast where you were coaching me and how frantic and how my mind was running the show. And I knew that when the first couple of times that I had the honor to talk to you and you coached me, you mentioned that anxiety and that, how I needed to kind of think of it differently and
Mhm.
just observe my thoughts.
Mhm.
What he said, your thoughts are creating chaos and drama and creating this anxiety. But I wasn't sure that I quite got what you meant
Mhm.
because I never thought about it that way.
Mhm.
So when I started in the academy, which has been since December now, I started learning and listening to you talk about it. So I started to get like, oh, this so makes
Mhm.
sense.
Right.
Um, and when the opportunity came, I was like, this is what I need. I really need to learn about how my mind is running the show and how I can change it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel so it's like I think now, like, if I could help create school curriculum for kids, this would be, like, one of the first things I would wanna teach, even I think more than the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. Like, if you have this powerful, crazy machine up in your head, and we just have no clue how it operates, and we just fall victim to these repetitive thoughts and these shoulds and all this stuff, and it makes people's lives really unhappy, unhealthy, and kind of miserable. I know for me personally, it was right until I became more aware of what was happening. So you were already experiencing some subtle changes because you were paying attention to what was going on in the academy. You were starting to get some little bit of coaching here and there through the academy. And you were saying, okay, there is something going on, but I'm not sure I'm really understanding how to pick this apart. So then you joined the 6-week Sabotage to Success, is that right?
That's right. And it was a game changer for me because it finally clicked. It was
Mhm.
like all the resources I've been reading, the books, and I have by my table whose mind is it anyway. And I
Yeah.
even shared with my daughter. I said, I would like to send those a couple of books to my grandbabies. They're going to be 8, and it's like just like you said,
Yeah.
this should be a part of what we're taught in
Yeah.
school. I was telling my daughter because I shared with her, and I'm so excited, and even I've been able to help her to see
Mhm.
her mind as not her, because she suffered from anxiety. And she called me the other day and she said, "Mom, and I said it the way you say it, like
Mhm.
just try it. Don't believe me. Just kind of observe, just get curious about it." And she called me back and she said, "Mom, I it's true." Because I was
Mhm.
sharing with her when I was going through the course about the elephant. When you're
Yes.
reading about the elephant, don't think about the elephant. Don't think
Yes.
about the elephant, and all you can think of is all kinds of elephants.
Mhm.
And I was sharing that with her, as well as um, the fact that you your mind can predict, because she gets anxiety because she's always in the future. And I
Mhm.
think it's learned, because that's how I operated before I started learning um, about my mind, and the way it really ran my life.
Yeah.
And the drama that created the chaos, always looking for that, and always living in the future, like
Mhm.
um and it's so true. I read in one of the books that said that we were really programmed or taught that our mind were like the you gotta listen to your mind, or you're smart because you're constantly trying to prevent or control.
Mhm.
I'm big on trying to control everything in my life, and of course, this is where it got me.
Yeah.
230 pounds,
Right.
and just kind of putting the pieces together is being eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be where I'm at. I i have so much peace in my heart and in my life that I never thought it was possible.
That's
And
awesome.
it was because of that. I mean, that course really set my life in a different path. And I stopped letting the 3-year-old or the 5-year-old run my life. I just, say, no,
Yep.
sweetheart, we're not even going there today. If we need to go, we will have some time. And I put it in my calendar because I've been,
Yes.
also managing my time, my money, everything. And my mind kept just, even with the exercise, every time I start, everything settles. And I remember your voice saying that is looking for the next problem.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly. And I tell myself, okay, there it is.
Sure.
He's looking for the next problem.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to resolve it. Let
Mm-hmm.
it go. It's
Yep.
not a leaf we need to pick up today.
Yes.
So yeah.
I
Just
love that.
observing.
So if somebody didn't get a chance to hear that coaching episode with you, the one that you heard and you're like, wow, maybe this is something I really need to look into. Can you take us back to maybe prior to us talking and you coaching? Like, what was it like in your head? Pretty much, I would assume all day, every day before. And then how does it look different now? Like if I were to have gotten a glimpse inside of Lily's mind prior to all this, and now I look in there, what would I see as being different?
Oh goodness, a lot. First, I felt that like I was always frantic. Like I was always feeling like I was being chased by a tiger when there was nothing. I've been safe and I've been okay. Like everything was a something to resolve, something to fix, or something was wrong. You know, so I was always in that state of agitation and anxious, and I didn't know why or how to change it. I think that created so much anxiety that it would drive me to eat. It would drive me to, just use food. But I wasn't aware of that.
Did you just one question, I was curious, did you assume everyone else felt the way you did, or did you just think you were some kind of like weirdo that was experiencing this? And I'm not meaning weirdo as in like
Yeah,
literal, but I'm saying like, did you think you were different from everybody else?
I didn't think so because I felt that everybody in a certain level had that anxiety that I did, but mine was, I think I made it worse with my mind. The way, looking back, I think I created my mind had that, path and that loop that took me the same place. I was chasing my tail constantly.
Yeah.
And it
And
created a lot of anxiety. Go ahead.
And every time you thought you fixed something, so say that the mind started out first thing in the morning about, I don't know, say you got to do the laundry, or, oh my gosh, you have to hurry up and get this done. Like whatever the thing was it like as soon as you accomplished that task, it was coming right in again and saying, but wait, what about this? Was it kind of like that that's keeping you in that constant state of
Yes.
anxiety, or did it look different
Yes.
to you?
No, you never let down. You never, I was constantly from the minute I hit, my feet hit the ground. I was, that's the way I thought life was lived. Not by everybody at that extent, but I was always in an anxious state. And until I was in the group and I started reading and I started listening to you, that I realized that I didn't have to live like that.
Yeah.
That there was a way to live, that it was peaceful, that it was, that to me, that was a new concept because nobody has ever talked to me about it. Even though I read a lot and I love to learn, I'm always trying to learn something new. I never came across that. And
Yeah.
after my surgery, I think the need for something to change was so apparent, so on in my face, that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and there you were. And the Half Size Me Academy was there, and I just hang on to it, and it has changed my life completely. I look back a year ago. I mean, actually, this shirt, my husband bought it for me at the rodeo last year. He said 2X.
Oh,
I'm a
wow.
medium, and I
Yes.
wore it today in honor of that.
I
It's
love that.
because if you would have told me a year ago, where I was so defeated, sick, my health was failing me, my body was in really bad state, and if you would have told me that a year later I was going to be where I'm at, I would have said, how? I need a miracle. But look at me. I mean, I get emotional because it's really been life-changing for me. And it wasn't the surgery. It wasn't the surgery. It was working on my mind. It was learning about what I can do different.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought up the surgery, because see, one of the things that keyed me in that this stuff that we're covering in the 6-week intensive is the most important thing, is because I've seen people go through weight loss surgery like you did, and their stomach eventually re-expands. They can actually consume more food. And if they don't work on, and a lot of times after weight loss surgery, they will transfer from one addiction to another, because the mind doesn't shut up because you had a stomach surgery. It's still going 24/7. Even GLP-1 medications. I mean, you can be on a GLP-1 medication. It doesn't shut your mind down. Like, your brain is still searching for those things that are going to, quote unquote, make you feel better. And if you're someone that ever wants to come off those medications, you've got to deal with this, because the weight, like, I like how you said that if your feet hit the ground first thing in the morning and you're go full of anxiety and stress trying to keep up with what the mind is saying, of course you're going to eat food. Like, you're in such a panic state. You've got to make yourself feel better. And these tools will help you keep your weight in check, because you won't believe what's happening. You won't believe as much what the mind is saying to you. You have a different viewpoint of it. Is that how you see it now?
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I think the fact that I really paid attention on when you talk about that, because I wanted, even, I said to myself, even if it takes me the rest of my life to lose the weight, I'm not going to allow my mind to run the show in that rush. I mean, I remember and listening to myself literally frantic, because I I was afraid of not being able to lose the weight. I was afraid that um, other than restructuring my stomach, I couldn't grasp how I was gonna get there, like, without being another diet, or without trying to another fix, just like the GLP-1. I wanted this to be sustainable. I wanted this to be the last time I lost weight, and I took that very serious. So I kept hearing you go back to your mind and go back to the story that talks to you about, and the fact I even asked the question in one of my coaching, so what do I need to do? And I think most of us feel like we need to do. I'm a doer. What
Yes.
do I need to do? And when you said nothing, this is the thing that you do, nothing.
Yeah.
You are gonna manage it from here. I mean, that's all you have to do. Because it's not going away. It's not gonna disappear. You're not gonna get cured unless you get a brain surgery and they take it out, which we don't want that. And so you just have to learn how to make it like a background noise.
Yes.
It
Yes.
becomes just, okay, I hear you, that's
Mhm.
fine. No,
Mhm.
but we're not gonna follow suit. We're just gonna let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never thought I could experience, not only with food, but with money and even with life. Because I was
Yeah.
always like, I felt life was always like hitting me in the face. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, and I don't think it was life, because life hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's still coming at me.
Yeah.
But my perspective,
Yeah.
even having a different perspective. One of the lessons we did at the course was that, like, how can you change your perspective about a situation? Make
Mm-hmm.
it funny. Look at the good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at something that came out of that good, or how can you see it differently?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing I ask myself when something happens,
Sure.
because life is still happening. How
Mm-hmm.
can I reframe? How can I see this differently? How can
Yeah.
I even make a little bit fun of it?
Yeah.
Like, this could have been a tragedy, but no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we can solve or take care of today.
Yes, 100%. And one of the things I was curious to see your perspective on is one of the reasons I wanted to put this group intensive together is because when I coach people one on one, I hear these things day in and day out. It's like I'm getting constant exposure to all different people who have different careers, different they live in different places in the world. They've all have different education, they make different amounts of money, and yet there is such a commonality amongst the things they say when it comes to their mind. And I am seeing that. I'm seeing this collective, as I call it, the kind of the universal mind. Like it's almost like we all have this little microchip that was implanted in us when we were born, and it pretty much does the same thing and says the same thing in each and every one of us. But because we live in isolation and you don't coach as many people as I get to see, right? You don't know that the thoughts in Lily's head are not specific to Lily and that everybody else is having those same thoughts. So I felt like I had to make it a small group intensive with at least enough people that when they share the same things, it's like reinforcing what you were learning. Did that group aspect help you better detach from this being personal and it was just Lily's mind, Lily's problem, to maybe seeing it differently?
Yes, for sure. Just hearing everybody, I mean, one of them share a personal story, about something that happened to her. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That I would have gone there. Like, as something about a present that she was expecting something else, and
Mm-hmm.
she got something that, and she started thinking, well, I don't think my son loves me as much. I think I'm, the story that she was telling herself. And I'm like, oh my God, that is just so me. I'm not the only one that can believe her own stories.
Yeah.
And just hearing everybody's experience and everybody's sharing their own struggle is like, I'm not the only one. And
Mm-hmm.
that gave me that was an aha moment that I and I hear you say this very often, that we think that when you're saying something that doesn't apply to us, that we kind of expect you to say, yes, that's you, that
Yeah.
applies to you. This is because we don't think that our mind tells us that no, we're different. We that doesn't apply to us. It was an aha moment because it does.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that everybody shares in the podcast and in that group, that's totally me. We're
Mm-hmm.
all, like you said, we have the same chip in our
Yeah.
brain, the same, it tells us the same stories.
Yeah.
And it's something that you said that it was so good and I never forgot was also, um, it tells you the same story. You see it coming. It comes a point where you see it coming. Oh, that's where you're going. Your mind is like, you're going to tell me the same story. I've heard it
Mm-hmm.
before. I question it. I challenged it. We're we're done.
Yeah.
It's not serving me. is not serving my future self. So
Yeah.
it's not even up for discussion. And that was big for me. Yes.
I love I love that. And what I think I'm hearing in this, because I was actually going to ask this question, so I'm going to use this as a lead in. I always tell people it's never, ever, ever going to stop. It's always going to talk to you. I mean, with a capital ALWAYS, right? Always. It's always going to talk to you. And
Yes.
it's not your job to shut it down, which I think is where a lot of discomfort and pain comes from, is because we're wishing and praying, like, please, please make it stop, make it go away. No, no, no. Just accept it, welcome it in. Hey, you're here. You're going to hang out. I got that. But just like you could have a bunch of, people talking to you, and eventually when you realize they're saying nonsensical things, or even if you're at a party, you can't listen to every single person in every single conversation that's happening. I mean, usually you're focusing on the person standing in front of you having a conversation. You can allow that chatter to become that background noise and respond differently to it. Like you said, oh, there you are again. You're just telling me the same story, which is a much more light-hearted, like not Lily waking up, feet hitting the ground, her listening to it, almost responding to it immediately, trying to do all the things. She's questioning it. She's backing away from it. She's not glomming onto it and saying, you must be right, I must be wrong, and let me do everything you're saying. Is that how your day looks? Like, that voice still shows up, but it sounds like you're just responding differently to it.
That's exactly correct. That is exactly, and I don't think there's so much drama since I started going through the courses and applying your principles, applying the time management, the minimums, my habits, the fact that we are going for consistency, the fact that um, I think is everything that you have in place in the academy, that comes into. I don't have the drama that I had before. Like, I don't have time. I can't do that. Oh my God. I'm constantly like in panicking.
Yeah.
I don't have that because I write it down. I have my calendar. I have my I never I'm 54 years old and I never had anything fun in my life because I felt that I never had time.
Mm-hmm.
I shared yesterday in the academy with the way I think now. I have time because I don't spend so much time in my head giving it my full attention to my thoughts and what
I
it's
love
telling me.
this.
I have time to do fun things. I have time to go to my dance class. I have time to sit and read a book because I don't feel like, oh my God, I should be doing something. I have my 20 minutes to read my book and
Yeah.
I enjoy it. And 20 minutes, the alarm goes off, I'm good. So all that has gone away and I have found such freedom. I'm not ruled by my mind anymore. And I
Yeah.
continue to learn and develop and kind of I'm able to even see in other people like, oh my God, it's so sad. You're letting your brain run the show. The 3-year-old is just, having
Mhm.
a field day with your life. And
100%.
and it's sad because it shouldn't be that way. So I'm just very happy that I was able to change it.
Yeah. And what I love about you is you don't wanna just change it for you. Like, you even said you're sharing this with your daughter, you're gonna share it with your grandkids, and that's the teacher in me right there. That's like, this is what this is all about. Every person who learns what we covered in there, it doesn't just affect you. It affects the relationship you have with your spouse. It affects your children, because when you show up differently and you're more calm mom and you're more calm wife and you can actually enjoy something like reading a book and you're not so anxious, you actually are more pleasant to be around because you're happier in yourself. And this is a ripple out effect. And we can teach other generations what we're learning to where they don't have to suffer. I just had literally before I got on the call with you, Lily, my son was having an anxious moment about wanting to control an outcome of a get together with some friends. And I'm like, that tight feeling you have, that wanting to control, it's all mind driven. And we really talked through it. And he really got it. But like if he gets it now at 17, he's so much further ahead, right? Than we were. And it's like that's what we want to do. It's helping us, which is helping the world. I love that you found time for joy. I think that's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for creating that amazing course. I mean, it really, and I've always felt like that, coming from where I come from and what I learned, and knowing that that was not the way I wanted to live my life. And I'm honored and grateful. I don't even go back to I could have, I should have. I don't even go there because I used to do that a
Yes.
lot. And
Yes.
even one time you said, because I even said
Yeah.
if I would have known this, I would have not had my surgery. And she said, well, you know, shouldn't, couldn't. That's your mind. That's mind driven. I don't even go there. I'm just
Yeah.
so grateful. I live literally in a state of, I feel humble and grateful to have the gift of learning what I have learned now that I can stop the insanity. Like I'm a better wife. I'm a better mom. My daughter has had a couple of, hard moments in her life, and I've been able to be present, and I've been able to. Before I would have been frantic, even with my mom's issues. The first time I talked to you 6 months ago, I was in Mexico taking care of my mom,
Yeah.
and frantic and anxious, and I felt like the world was gonna end. She's still having the same issues.
Yeah.
Everything is, but I'm a different person. I
Yeah.
have the peace and the calmness to say, to even get her out of that state. Like, mom, there's nothing that you need to fix right now. I try. She's, a different generation, and for
Sure.
her, I speak a total different language. But the fact that I show up in a different way, I get her calm. She's like, oh, just the way I answer to her, the way I show up, she's like, okay, yeah, I guess I shouldn't worry about that, huh? And
Mhm.
it's like, yeah,
Aw,
everything is fine, mom. So that has been a gift
that's
too, that
awesome.
I can be there for my loved ones without feeling like the world is on fire or my hair is
Yeah.
on fire.
Oh, I
Yes.
love that. Well, Lily, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. Before we wrap, is there any final words you wanna say to anybody who would be on the fence of whether to join the next, Sabotage to Success, or any parting words you wanna do before we wrap up for today?
I would say that it is the best thing that I could have done. Um, it is the biggest gift you can give yourself, to learn, to go deeper into how the mind works, and give yourself a chance to. I mean, for me, it just changed everything about how I show up in life.
Yeah.
That's, in few words, that's what I would say. And that means that everything that I do now is touched by what I learned in that course. So definitely is something to invest. We are all worth it. I had, of course, my mind would say that, well, maybe, is you're not worth, the time, the money, the investment. But I can tell you that I am, and I
Yeah.
am glad I did,
That's
because investing in myself, I wish I would have, and here I am again.
Yeah.
But today I did. Today I
Yes!
did, and
That's all that you
thank
can do.
you. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just very grateful to you, to the academy, to the space you created, to the courses, to that teacher in you, because you make it so understandable and so
Good.
easy to digest that if I could go through and come out a different person, everybody can do that.
Well, I am super excited to have had you in that group, and I very much appreciate all your willingness to share here and in there, because I think seeing your transformation impacts everybody. Like I said, it's a group effort when we go through it, because all of a sudden all the veils come down and we realize, oh, we're not as alone as we thought. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lily, for your time today.
Thank
And
you.
I will see you tomorrow at our meeting in the academy. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Have a wonderful day
All right. You
and
have a good one.
wonderful weekend. You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to visit halfsizeme.com. Check back often for your daily dose of inspiration, because you are worth it.
The information you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The host is not a medical professional. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.